Hey guys, Eid greetings to all of you. 2021. Instead of exchanging those crafted messages and images, I found it more convenient to be eye to eye and go live, and in one go I can greet my friends all over the world, especially in the country almost stranded for more than a year now, since Eid al-Adha will be celebrated tomorrow in our part of the world, in India, Pakistan, and some of the other countries. Needless to add to the significance of today's festival, which is recorded in the theological text, whether it's our Quranic verses or it's Genesis 22. And as all of us aware that it's a day of sacrifice, a sacrifice of something which is the dearest to us in any sense. And as the anecdote goes, that Abraham, who was earlier known as Abram, but he renamed as Abraham, and he happened to be revealed that he was supposed to sacrifice his son Ishmael, and God wanted, in fact, it was a clear decree from God Almighty to prepare himself to put his dearest only son Ishmael on the altar of the sacrifice. Although there is a historical background of the sacrificial customs prevalent among Jews at the time, and it was customary and ritualistic to offer some sort of sacrifices, whether it's like butchering of the animal, mostly animal, the lamb, and it may have some relevance to even paganism, and in Hinduism also there is a tradition, ritual of sacrificing animals, cattle, to pacify the wild Kali, the goddesses, gods and goddesses. Anyway, this symbolical day calls for our sense of supremely self-sacrificing attitude towards Almighty, who has showered with His choicest blessing on us in one way or the other. And it's our turn to repay, to reciprocate in whatever possible ways we can. That's why this sacrificial symbolical day marks the beginning of being charitable, beginning of taking care of those who are the people of faith, or the people who are not from our faith, but they are brothers in humanity, and all communities, they revel in the orgies, the festivities, and even the sacrificial goat has to be divided into 3 equal parts, one for yourself, the other for your near dear ones to be shared. And primarily it's driven by the motive. The whole idea is how to extend our festivities, our celebrations, our good time, sharing good time, or being nice to our neighbors, the poor and the needy, who probably may not be able to celebrate Eid al-Adha or Eid al-Fitr the way we do it. So in order not to let them feel looked down upon, or in the absence of in the paucity of togetherness, and it's a part of the deal of parting something which we love so much and we continue to amass for ourselves. So this day of sacrifice is resembling. In fact, we make sacrifice in one way or the other. Lots of sacrifices have to be made in life, whether it's to please our family, to our near and dear ones, to our bosses at workplace. And so we keep offering and sacrificing our own needs, our own wants, our own necessities, and sometimes we have to go beyond an extra mile to facilitate, to be of some help and some rescue to those who are really in need of. And that's why we have the concept of zakat, the 2.5, the charity. In fact, it's termed a charity, but in Islamic religion it's an obligatory. In fact, zakat is, you can't escape that, because you have to part with something that you really love to have for yourself. But the thing is, what you would like to have for yourself need to be shared by the rest of the people around the community and your neighbors, and that's what humanity calls for. It's all about. So I need not overemphasize the importance of the day. And in fact, instead of spending too much on the display of and making a parade of this, we need to retrospect in what best possible ways we could be of help to the people around, to our neighbors and all that. Well, there's a time of the pandemic. We have, a pandemic in England, although they're reopening, and things haven't turned out to be really on the backtrack. On the smooth functioning of the daily life, but alhamdulillah, most of us having been jabbed at least once and one dose, we feel a bit safer, and we have developed a sort of survival coping mechanism, and we aren't afraid as used to be after more than a year or so. Although there is resurgence, the cases have been spiking in certain places, and there are re-lockdowns and there have been stricter, reimposition of the stricter rules, and some of the places. It's the world has presenting a world of contrasting scenarios, and somewhere people have been totally nonchalant and haven't been caring at all about. And in India, the government has given some leeway for Eid al-Adha celebrations, and we have to be careful about this gathering, and we need to we don't have to lower the guards, because still we have a long way to combat this pandemic, and this could be, it can rear its ugly head once again, the form of Delta variant which is coming. And there is an imminent fear, an inevitable third wave. But let's hope that with the vaccination drive, although a bit tardy and slow, and only 400 million people in India have been jabbed, and only single dose most of the people, apart from the frontline workers and those who are fighting the pandemic. But still hoping to get this jabbing process being materialized by year end. All this, it's a very ambitious program, but the government is doing its best, and is trying to come up with more companies, more farms, more productions, more tweaking of that, more kinds of rescue to the commoners. I also need to mention something that has been in the breaking news. It's like a news without lots of noise. And I'm simply letting you know what's happening around since I'm on live. So there was this kind of snoopydemic also in India. There has been a big breaking news of some sort of surveillance and Pegasus company snooping over people, around 40 journalists, ministers and judges and all those influential people in our society. So it seems like nobody is immune to being, under the scanner, and surveillance is all around. I don't know what's the mileage of putting, commoners' secret data and all that to the third party and being misused, largely misused. So WhatsApp users are not really safe in the sense that there could be many more users who could be targeted with the vested interest, although the company claims that it's only the vetted, the government could be the users, the end users. But God knows, if so many influential people, from judges to, election commissioner and opposition party members, Rahul Gandhi, and those kind of people could be targeted wantonly without being even have a smell of it, and out of the impression that they are being under surveillance. So this has been rightly termed as after a Watergate scandal, it's going to be a Snoopgate scandal. In fact, it's really big. It's colossal. It's like a biblical order that surveillance has been going on for such a long time, and still we don't know who is doing for whom and who are being targeted and how long has been going on. And it's to tell you the fact that there's nothing that can be done in order to sneak out of it. This is a trap. It's a hate conspiracy, and it's like you keep changing your handset. That won't really help you. Despite changing 5 handsets, Rahul Gandhi couldn't ensure himself that he's not under the scanner. So that's something that was really prompting me to share with you. There are certain things. Today is a day of Eid al-Adha, and there is a big day for in the field of space exploration, because Blue Origin. I've already shared this in the last video that the space exploration is getting expedited with lots of fantastic, like 3 trios. Jeff Bezos, and there are 3, in fact, conglomerates, and they're pumping billions of dollars into this space exploration, making it possible for commoners to be a beneficiary. And it's going to be like any travel, any flight you take just to be in your country. It could be a possibility in this century itself that the space will be open to, and we may be inhabiting one day shortly. And even if we have to visit, and we will have to pay not that handsome amount, and it won't be limited. It won't be off limit to only those who are really into the space exploration. As I say, you could also have a thrill of. So Blue Origin is a very ambitious and project of Jeff Bezos, and he is on to it today. Is going to be the blast off, and it's going to break the barriers that has been set by that that Britisher Branson, and who could only spend a couple of minutes, and this is going much beyond that. And in fact, the program itself is going beyond that. Not to mention Tesla. The other guy, whose ambitious program is to, in fact, colonize Mars. And it's like going beyond our solar system, and the day will come when we'll be having plenty of people on board with lots of people with vested interests, whether it's mining, whether it's manufacturing, whether it's to escape the hurly-burly or the climatic catastrophic changes that's happening all over the globe because of the human intervention. And you see the cataclysmic changes in the climatic conditions worldwide. I mean, USA, in Canada, and heat waves, and we have glaciers melting and all that. There could be a viable options of saying goodbye to this planet for a while, at least for a couple of people, for a handful of those who could be resourceful enough to lay hands on and take a swift flight to. It's like taking a flight, it's nothing else. It's going to be an itinerary of a different sort, the space odyssey, with a bunch of people, a bunch of simply whimsical, fanciful people. Now, the scenario in India's corona is a bit dismal so far, in the sense that only 40 crores people have been jabbed, not that fully. Even if compared with the USA, it's only 70% with single jabbing and dose, and its ambitious program took a biggest hit because of the disillusionment and the youngsters being, in fact, probably the other Republican members, they're not really joining hands and not lending their hands in propagating this pro-jabbing campaigns, and Biden has failed in meeting the very ambitious, jabbing, the kind of hospitalization, the doubling, tripling, and quadrupling of the cases in the Delta variants, and it's like 700% rise in and there's too many hospitalization, and in fact there are certain states in the USA they find it ill resourced to accommodate the new cases, and even the mortality rate is rising. So the only panacea, the way out from this pandemic, is vaccination. And since there is no dearth of the vaccines, and it's widely rampant and available at your doorsteps and everywhere, so I would earnestly appeal to everybody who has got any iota of misapprehensions about this vaccination, please remove it and go for it. The sooner it comes away, the better for you. As long as you're vaccinated, you won't fear all the variants and all that. There will be no severe hospitalization. Go for it. God forgetting. God forbidding. We're never sure of the things, the way these viruses, they're really acting smart these days. Viruses are changing shapes, changing color, even operations, and they're getting smarter with every day. So we need to, it's like a rat race, it's like a race. We need to fight and win, and win great, and before we are really vanquished, and we have to pay more price in terms of mortality. We have already seen worst case scenarios in India and elsewhere, in Brazil and Italy and all that. So although there has been a fresh imposing of the lockdowns, and England is the only country which has brazenly and bizarrely opened all the outlets, and with the, of course, masking mandate being brought in again, and even Boris Johnson himself has been quarantined, and so things are not quite, rosier in the sense that, but there is a silver lining in that because of the ramping of the production of the vaccines and more companies and more variations, and we have known how to deal with this. The havoc of the pandemic, and hopefully, India is going to tackle its third wave, if that has to come, and if it is all the stoutly proclaimed to be imminent and inevitable in the wake of the large gatherings and all. The UP government is taking the right decision of withholding that yatra, and obviously that's the sense has prevailed upon, and it's only after chiding from the Supreme Court, and so all Indians, and in fact in the whole country has to unite against, and you have to come up with joint collaboration to ward of this disease. The sooner we join hands and fight back, the better our future will be. Although despite being stranded here, there's no way I can be repatriated. In fact, I thought of visiting India, and there were flights going for, but fearing that I might get stranded in our own country, and since there is no resumption of the flights so far, so it would be endangering myself into, and so I simply, allayed my, wishful thinking of visiting, and hopefully all of us will be joining our near and dear ones in future shortly, and we'll be celebrating our festivals and all with our near and dear ones. That's what makes festivities, really bouncing and really, enjoyable, worth enjoyable. So thank you so much. Probably I'll get back to you guys regarding this biblical order of this snoop epidemic, which is rocking, and that's the news that's breaking these days. And let's hope all of us are safe, and let's heighten the sense of self-sacrificing for our family and dear ones. Let's greet each other with an open heart and welcome and fight back and meet all the challenges of life that anyway, life offers all sorts of challenges, and probably in the form of pandemic, probably in the form of separation from your family, probably in the form of skyrocketing price rises, and life is all about trials and tribulations, and the human endurance is what is the best coping mechanism for. See you one day in person, all of you. Happy Eid. Greetings to all the people all around, and hoping to greet you tomorrow, all those people celebrating in India. Thank you so much. Have a nice and blessed